Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver is soaring. Silver prices have exploded. We are definitely in a bullish trend, which is in return attracting a lot of new stackers, a lot of new investors, as silver is in the spotlight. But when there's a lot of new investors, a lot of new stackers, they don't have the experience, they don't have the education of how to properly or how to successfully stack. So I'm going to tell you some ways that you can actually profit from stacking silver. There's several different ways. Silver stacking is a very individual investment, meaning that everyone has different financial situations, everyone has different buying time frames, different selling time frames, different goals, live in different parts of the world. So what works for me might not work for you. You will have to adjust your stack, and that's why I can never give individual advice, but I will give universal advice you can apply, and you can take it from there. So before we start, I'm going to be sharing this article from the Motley Fool, or from fool.com. Link will be in the description if you want to check it out yourself. Make sure to smash the like button. If you love silver, if you're bullish on silver, make sure to smash the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. We're approaching 29,000 subscribers. You want to stay up to date on a day-to-day basis. I will give you the newest, latest, most fresh, the most up-to-date information on silver prices, what they're doing, what's the context behind the scenes. So you want to stay subscribed, you want to turn on post notifications so you are the first to get in the loop. With that said, let's jump into it. So the stock market has been extremely volatile in 2020, plunging during the winter months, but then bouncing back convincingly since March. However, one investment that's up considerably so far in the year is silver. In just the past few weeks, silver has jumped to its best levels in years. Many investors see even more upside for the low price precious metal. See, silver is up around $23, and people are saying that it still has a lot more room to run. So yes, $23 is high, but it might go much, much higher. There are several different ways you can invest into silver. Not all of them share the same investing characteristics, and although they all tend to benefit when silver prices rise, the specific ways in which each prospers from climbing silver prices differ greatly. Below, we'll look at 4 different investments and offer some views on why some might make more sense for you than others. Right now, I strictly invest into the physical bullion, which is number 1. Physical precious metals are extremely beneficial because if you can't hold it, you don't own it. Physical gold and silver is real money. It has intrinsic value. You can hold it with your bare hands. There is no third party. There is no custodian. It's not stored in some vault halfway across the world. You are in complete control of your wealth. So I'm always going to stack physical bullion. Now, a lot of times people like to benefit from, like the first paragraph says, like to benefit from different aspects, different things that silver and gold have to offer, right? Because silver and gold has a unique advantage above most other investments. So people like to I guess pick and choose of their taking. And owning physical silver ensures that you'll participate directly in the movements of the silver market. However, you'll be responsible for shipping costs to get the silver to you, and you'll have to take care of storing it, which a lot of people like that. Some people might not like that. In addition, most dealers have a fairly wide gap between the price at which they'll sell you and the price that you'll pay to buy it back. This is premiums. This method is therefore best for those who expect to hold their silver over long periods of time. See, this is where it goes into, you really need to understand your time frame of when you're looking to sell, because I'm not planning on selling for the next 15, 20 years. I'm only 28 years old, so I'm not thinking about selling anytime soon. And even if I was, I would still buy physical precious metals. I just like the physical bullion. It's like treasure. I'm in complete control of my wealth, and that's, especially a lot of people come in to the precious metals world from a SHTF prepper type of mind state, and they don't want the banks, or they don't want some third party organization to be in control of their money. Especially with all the silver demand right now, with the diminishing supply. Who even knows if you even own any of your silver, if your silver is in that vault? It's so risky. Nothing else makes sense to me besides the physical bullion. If you're investing in ETFs and other things, you might as well invest in the stock markets. It's the same thing. It's digits on a screen. It's digits on a screen. But I don't want to push. I don't want to be too biased. I don't want to be closed-minded. I've invested in the stocks. I'm very informed on exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just explaining my opinion on why I love the physical bullion. Number 2 is silver futures contracts. So you can also invest into silver without ever having to take physical ownership of any actual metal. Silver futures contracts give you the right to receive delivery at a specified date in the future at a given price and tends to fluctuate with the price of silver. If silver price rises, the value of your futures contract will typically rise along with it. If you don't want to take delivery, you just need to sell the contract before its expiration date. Silver futures usually trade fairly closely with the spot price of silver bullion, but there's still some risk of futures markets irregularities that can create disparities between spot price and futures prices. You'll also need to talk to your broker to see if you have the ability to trade futures contracts in your account. If not, you'll need to take steps and add future trading to your... See, blah, 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 blah. Do you see how confusing that is? Number one, all you have to do is go to atmex.com, click buy, and it's at your doorstep. Number two, it's just so confusing. The average person doesn't want to have to go through all this. It's so inconvenient. It's so inconvenient. Silver ETFs. The exchange-traded funds market also caters to silver investors with funds that track the price of the white metal. iShares Silver, SLV, which is the biggest one by far, owns silver bullion, and each share corresponds to about 93 or 0.93 ounces of silver. Except for the 0.50% annual expense ratio, the ETF has done a good job of tracking the long-term movements in the silver market. So ETFs allow you to buy and sell shares anytime the market is open. They're also typically available at no commission, saving you from the markups your local coin dealer will charge. However, some investors don't like silver ETFs as much because you have no legal right to demand the actual silver bullion from the fund. So there's a lot of pros and cons. There's a lot of pros and cons with all these. I definitely still see the physical bullion being the number one safest, smartest investment by far. Here's silver mining stocks. A host of companies mine silver. When silver gets more expensive, their profits tend to rise. Most silver miners are actually leveraged plays on silver prices because the fixed cost makes the impact of profits larger than the rise in the price of silver. As a basic example, if a company hosts a $10 per ounce to mine silver and the price jumps from $15 to $20, then the miner's profit will double from $5 per ounce to $10. That can create big share movements even though the price of silver went up just 33%. So, however, the link between any given miner and the silver market isn't perfect, as there are some company-specific issues that can arise. For instance, if a mining company has an accident in one of its mines, it might have to shut the mine down and halt production, or a global pandemic on our hands. That'll send the mining stock shares lower even if the silver prices are soaring. And we know some of the biggest mining companies in Mexico, Peru had to be shut down due to the pandemic, especially with transportation, with all the boundaries, the borders being shut down, borders being closed. It's chaotic. My opinion, if you buy precious metals from a trusted bullion dealer, you don't have to worry about any of that. Number 5 is silver streaming companies. There's another set of companies with exposure to silver. Streaming companies aren't miners, but they work with miners to provide financing for mining projects. In exchange, they'll obtain the right to buy some or all of the silver production from those projects, often at a fixed price well below the current price market. So, if you think silver has more room to run higher, then these 5 investments are worth a closer look. No matter which one you pick, you'll put yourself in a position to profit with silver market staying as hot as it is lately. So, I hope that this video, I hope this article opened you up to see all the possibilities out there, and hopefully you can pick which best fits your life, which best fits your goals. Now, I know that I was pretty biased on number 1, but that's just because it's the truth. I mean, yes, it's my opinion, but truthfully, silver, the physical bullion, it has intrinsic value, and none of these other options have that. The truth is that you are in complete control of your wealth when you own the physical bullion, and the truth is that if you're investing into the other 4, you're not. There's some third-party middleman that's in control of your money, and if an emergency happens or whatever, if something happens, you can't get your silver right then and there. Some people don't like storing it in their house because if it gets stolen or whatever, then that's fine. Pick one of the other ones. But for me, number 1 is obvious. Physical bullion is the best option. I am curious where, which one of the 5 do you invest in? Or some people might diversify. Diversification is definitely key, especially with a market like silver. You can diversify, maybe invest in a little bit of the ETF side of it, and some of the physical bullion. I know a couple people that do that, or maybe it's not even the precious metals ETFs. Maybe you invest a little bit into the physical bullion and you invest a little bit in the stock markets, like I do. I have a little bit in Tesla, other companies. So the whole point of this is there's potential to invest and make money from any investment you do, but there's also potential to lose money. With any risk, there is reward, but remember, with that reward, there's a lot of risk. That's why I say precious metals, the physical side, is the safest, smartest, because there's the less risk possible, and it's the easiest, especially for beginners. So not only is it the best and the safest, smartest, it's the easiest. Remember when I was reading number 2, it just sounded so crazy. Who in their right mind, especially if you're a beginner, is going to understand or comprehend that, and especially try to make profits out of it? It doesn't seem realistic. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you want to check this article out, do your homework like I always say. The link will be in the description. Make sure to smash that like button. Let's see if this video can get 300 likes. We have a 300 like goal. Smash that like button if you love precious metals. Also, make sure you subscribe because I do post daily videos. This was Silver Slayer. I'm going to wrap this one in here. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.